Hi all, welcome to Oops with C++ session 1. In this video, we will see evaluation of programming languages. So, according to me, programming languages are broadly categorized into three types. One is machine level language, assembly level language, the third one is high level language. We will see how the programming languages are evaluated here. So why we went from machine level language to assembly level to high level language. So these three things and each language pros and cons we will discuss in this video. So first coming to machine level language, we know that in the computing system in computer CPU or processor is one of the key device or we can say main heart of the computer which do all the computing tasks. So this CPU will understand only binary language, that is ones and zeros. So it can read one and zero. One and zero is nothing but a high voltage, it stands for one, and low voltage it stands for zero. So whatever communication is happening to the CPU, it will be in terms of ones and zeros, that is binary language. As I say, so binary language is input for CPU. It can understand only one language. So its native language is 1 and 0 or binary language. So CPU will take this binary language as an input and it will produce the output on the output device such as monitor. Okay. So now when we see this binary language, we have some advantages as well as disadvantages. When we talk about advantages, very less time is required during executing this during execution process, since they do not require any translator, because CPU's local language or its its own language is binary language. We are giving the information in terms of binary language only, so we need not to give any translator for this, so the execution speed will be faster. And another advantages is programs written in this machine language are secured since they are difficult to alter. Say for example, say assume this is the code we have. If you want to modify, this is secured. We don't know what exactly it is. One zero. You have to convert this binary language. You have to take this input. What is this input? You have to understand first. So then only you can modify something. So security will be more in terms of machine level language. But at the same time, we have some disadvantages also. They are these binary languages machine dependent, hence they are not portable. Okay, for this CPU, it may be a different set we are giving, and other CPU we will give in different way. Maybe it is in terms of ones and zeros only, but the coding, say for example, if you want to write hello world, the binary combination what we are going to give to this CPU one processor is different from another processor. That portability is also very difficult. Assume that there is some issue in executing this program and you want to debug this, and it's very difficult to debug because where exactly we are getting the error, that we cannot understand. It's very hard. And another problem is no readability and cannot do a self documentation in the binary level language. So 1 and 0 1 0 0. So if you see these ones and zeros, what we can understand, we cannot understand what exactly we are giving the input to this. If I say if I want to say what is this read, then I can say machine level languages, so binary language, so I can read it. But if I say 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 1 0, so if I give like this, what exactly I'm trying to communicate, that is not clear. So readability is not there, and documentation is also not there. Self documentation also we cannot do in binary language. Okay, so to overcome this, after this machine level language, they have introduced a new language called assembly level language. So this particular portion means in the assembly level language, along with this this portion, along this CPU and binary portion, they have added one layer where they have introduced something like assembler. So what we are doing is, see, from here, from this layer, after this layer, so binary level language. So always for CPU, binary level language is the input. Okay, so now they have introduced another device called assembler. Another part they have introduced it called assembler. So what this assembler is doing is, since we have come across the debugging issues as well as readability issues in machine level language. So to increase the readability, to better understanding of the program, and to make debug little easy, they have introduced a core new language called assembly level language. So next level came, next evolution is assembly level language, where we are using some simple instructions, assembly instructions like move a comma 45h, move b comma 86h, add ab, move end. So by looking this, we can easily understand here we are moving something, something from 40, some value 45h hexadecimal, some 45 value to a, or something we are moving from here to here, and then we are adding add a comma b, we are adding a b. So and we are ending this program, so we can read it, what exactly is happening, we can read it. And but when you see here binary level language, what I am doing, I cannot understand, so we cannot read it easily. So here readability is increased now. But the problem is my CPU will can understand only ones and zeros, that is binary level language. So that's the reason they have introduced. You write the code as a higher level, as a higher level programmer. You write the program in machine, no, sorry, assembly level language. Then give that information to assembler. So then assembler will convert the assembly code. You have to give this assembly code in terms of opcodes, and these opcodes will be converted to binary level language by the assembler. So it is like it is a translator. So for example, we can see the prime minister will be um, going and giving lectures or speeches in a different states. So when going, say for example, if they are coming to different states, Karnataka or Tamil Nadu or Andhra Pradesh, wherever he is going, sometimes the local leader, local translators will be there. They will be translating their information, because we are the CPUs. We know our native language. We know our, we can understand our language. But there is a translator. So here CM is giving, PM is giving the speech, and the assembler, local translator will translate it, and he deliver it into our own language, so that we can understand. In the same way, this machine level language will be, machine level language opcodes will be given to assembler, and assembler will convert the opcodes to binary, and that binary will be given to CPU. The CPU will process that information. So now we'll see what is the advantages here. So advantages is easier to understand, and therefore it saves a lot of time and effort of the program. So readability is increased. That's the reason you can see here we can easily understand what exactly I am going to do. Here we can easily understand I am going to write, I am writing a program. Here we are writing a program to add two values. But when we observe here in the binary level language, it is we cannot understand what exactly it is doing. Okay, so now again, uh, it is easier to correct errors and modify program instructions comparing to machine level language. When we compare to binary level language, debugging or modification of the program in assembly level language is easier. And again, there are some advantages and some disadvantages also. Machine, it is a CPU dependent, non-portable if the CPU changes. Means the assembly instructions, whatever you have generated, that will be that means not suitable for some other processor. Say for example, I have generated the opcodes for um, opcodes for Intel processor. That may not fit for AMD processor, or Intel i5 processor I have created, or i7 processor I have created. That may not work with some low-level Core 2 Duo processor. So it is not portable once again. And whenever you are writing the assembly instructions, you just recall in your engineering days how you did. So it is like before learning any processor, if you are going to write assembly code, you have to know, one must have to know architecture of the CPU and what registers it is going to use. That is required. And another thing is, so I cannot give the assembly code directly to the CPU. I need a translator, that is assembler is required. So these are the advantages. But comparing to machine level language, so our task as an end user task is burden is reduced. Okay, we have added one more layer. So this is abstracted. So this particular portion is abstracted. Now this assembler is there. So later, from assembly level language, the next language came high level language. Now they have kept these two levels as it is. So as usual, binary language is input to CPU or processor, and from CPU the output will be given to the system. And the above layer is assembler, which takes the assembly code and converts the takes the opcodes and converts the opcodes into binary. Now coming to machine level language, the programming, the sorry, high level languages which are now we are using, so that it changed the uh, programming style, uh, that changes the programming style very much. So here the readability is increased like anything. So only thing you have to know is, if you know English, then you can easily write the programming languages. Okay, so when you take here, you can see hash include stdio.h, int a equals to 0, a equals to 10, b equals to 20, c equals to a plus b, printf sum equals to percentage d c. At least if any new person who don't have programming knowledge, they can come and see, oh here, so some values I'm assigning, a equals to 10, b equals to 20, some values we are assigning, c equals to a plus b. Oh okay, I'm adding here print, so I'm printing something on the monitor, so printing, so that easily we can understand. But easy to write the programs also. You can do self documentation also. You can write why exactly you can add the comments why exactly you are writing the code here. What is the purpose of this program, that you can do. So that is very useful for us now. But our CPU knows only ones and zeros. But for that they have added one more software, that is nothing but the one more layer. Here they have introduced one more translator, that is compiler. So what this compiler will do is, it will take high level language as the input, and it will convert that high level language to assembly. So then once you have given the high level language to assembler, then assembler will convert these opcodes, and it will generate the binary, it will give the binary code, and as usual the rest of the process will be continued. So this is how the compiler will convert. So compiler is needed in here. When you talk about machine level language, you don't want any translator. Directly you can give the binary language as an input to CPU. When you come to assembler, sorry, assembly level language, you need an as a translator, that is assembler, which converts assembly code or opcodes to binary. And when it comes to the next layer, that is high level languages, here we need a compiler which converts our programming language, high level language, to assembly level language. So let's discuss about the advantages and disadvantages. It's very easy to understand, readability is increased, easy to debug and fix the issue. We can easily debug, we can easily understand the code, and we can easily debug and fix the issue. And self documentation, modular approach is possible. Modular approach and code reusability is increased. Uh, So modular approach, like you can split the entire project into entire code into different units, different files you can write. So you can increase the code size. How many lines you want, you can increase. But when it comes to binary or machine level language, the lines of the code you can write is limited. So, but that limitation we are achieved. Limitation we are overcoming by using high level language, that is called modular approach. In the different translation units we are writing the code, and code reusability is also increased by uh, introducing functions. Okay, even assembly level language also functions are there, but the uses of this function in high level language is much appreciated. So you need not to know the architecture and assembly instructions of the CPU. It is portable. So means the whatever processor you are using, the irrespective of the processor, you write the C program. Okay, it will work. Or you write the C++ program, any high level language, it will work. You need not to know whether you are using Intel i5, i6, i7 or Pentium, which one you are using. You need not to worry about that. Okay, your compiler will take care of that. Okay, you need to know only the language features and language instructions, and language syntax and the logic. So coming to disadvantages, as we mentioned, the compilers are required to convert the high level language to assembly level language. This is one of the disadvantage, or we can say that is necessity. For different OS or for different CPUs, suitable compilers are required. Compilers are not portable. See, I am saying the language, high level languages are portable, but not the compilers. The compiler for Windows system is different. The compiler for Linux machine, you have to write differently. Okay, so for a compiler, you have to write a different way of generating the opcodes, assembly code, for Windows, and for Linux you have to write in a different way. The compilers are not portable. So for the CPU also, if the CPU or OS changes, the compiler will also changes. So compilers are non-portable. So we see, I cannot say VC plus plus. So whatever C++ compiler you have downloaded for C or C++ compiler you have downloaded for Windows won't work with Linux. You need a separate compiler. So this is one of the disadvantages. So language is portable. Keep it in mind that language is portable, but not the compilers. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to TechShare.